Welcome folks to another episode of the Blocko, the reality TV show that takes issues of HIV and AIDS right to the block, to the 12 different communities actually in Grenada. Today we are in the community of Beaton, and we have a group of guys here who are ready to talk to us on issues of HIV and AIDS. We also have with us educators Tracy and Jenna, and we have today as our special guest Mrs. Samantha Roberts. She has been doing community work in the field of HIV and AIDS for over a decade. Mrs. Roberts, welcome. And guys, welcome to the Blocko. We are going to take a very short break. The Blocko will be right back.
Are you ready to be blown away? The Creative House Do It Best is now in 3 locations: Woodlands, Spiceland Mall, and the brand new Rose Street Mall Store. We are your premium hardware and home center, the #1 place to shop with the widest selections of tiles and exclusive brands of toilets, tools, paints, and home accessories on the island. All your household and hardware needs can be met at one premium house. The Creative House Do It Best. We give you value for your dollar.
Best service, best product. Do it best.
Do you suffer from back or neck pain? Were you hurt in a car accident or suffer from a sports injury? Pills and surgery may not be the solution. If you suffer from aches and pains, visit the Philippia McSween's Memorial Healthcare Center to find out how chiropractic care can have you feeling better. Get back on the road to recovery. Call or email today, treating problems effectively and safely.
This discussion is all about HIV and AIDS. What's some of the first things that come to your mind when you hear HIV and AIDS? Wow. All kind of things. Give me at least one thing.
I get afraid.
Alright. Fear. Honest enough? Anybody else?
Definitely, you should protect yourself.
So what comes to your mind is protection?
Protection.
Because you cannot see?
Well, you can't see through that hole unless you put it in.
You were saying?
Yes, I mean, for me, my opinion is like, you think about HIV, you just don't think about yourself, but you think about other people. Maybe you may not care that much about your own self. Because, you know, some people tend to live their life carelessly, but then again, it's not just you alone. Because if you go and you have outside sex just like that, it's not just when you go back home to your wife, your children.
So you're talking about the effects going further than just yourself.
So that kind of keep you to isolate yourself, because it's not just you alone.
So you know that I think you're saying that it forces you to think twice.
To think twice and think about other people.
Okay.
So in a general sense, just the basic thought of HIV is a scary thing. You probably you meet a young lady and you talk, you're in the mood, and you know you just go. We judge your conscious mind. And probably at time after here that you go by the doctor just for probably a simple blood test, and doctor come up and tell you, Mister, you're HIV positive. It's like a dream. You know what I'm saying? So how does you get to realize that HIV is real?
That HIV is serious business.
Exactly.
So you think a lot of people don't take it seriously?
A lot of people don't take it seriously. A lot of people still believe that HIV is just a slang.
Okay.
You know? A lot of people don't believe that HIV they could catch it and actually die from the disease.
It passes and you forget about it tomorrow.
Yeah, that's what I'm telling you, you know.
When you have that adrenaline rush, and that's what you need to control as young people. And as men, old people too. Yeah, that adrenaline rush. And sometimes you just rush into it and you worry the next day.
What you want?
You understand? So tomorrow, when you wake up, I did this.
Yeah, but you have people think HIV is just like a boss here too. and he go cure tomorrow for his garden. But it's not like that. HIV is not like that. You have to take that into consideration. It's a positive and a negative, because if you go and you're negative, which means you feel good, you go at somebody else again. And when you go back the next day, you're positive, tell you get that time, right? Okay?
Alright. Anywhere you go talk about HIV and AIDS, and then that's when you hear that it's education, you educate yourself, because this man have a view, you tell you, well, you know, if you go by this one here, this man she have AIDS, and then the next man will tell you about, no, you lie. But then you know, you thinking, you the one to be thinking now, whether I should go or not. So now I say that for my education.
We all are big people, we know what life is, and what people would do in life and what happens and stuff. But you would never know, because if a young lady has HIV, I'm scared to go there. You need to be very careful.
Because at the end of the day, you can't tell by looking.
You cannot tell.
Right? You can't tell by looking. This young lady, this young man might be healthy and looking attractive.
Sometimes the most beautiful young lady might be the one that has that.
Exactly.
And we all are attracted to the most beautiful set of people.
All right, so I believe at this point we're going to take a very short break. But when we come back, I want to hear from you guys. What do you think we can do as individual, as society, to get people to think of HIV as something serious, something that can affect you negatively for the rest of your life, that can actually kill you? All right, so remember, you're looking at the Blocko, chatting with the guys from the community of Beaton. We're going to take a very short break, but we'll be right back.
This one's for Grenada, Carriacou, and Petty Martinique. Get on your marks. Set, bingo! On Saturday, October 29, 2K11, race to the National Cricket Stadium to experience the bingo of all bingo. In lane 1, sponsored in part by Huggins Automotive, is a brand new 2011 Hyundai Tucson, coupled with an all-inclusive automotive kit, complements SP's International. In lane 2, part sponsored by Digicel, are Caribbean cruise tickets for 2 with $500 spending money. In lane 3, compliments Digicel, are 2 BlackBerry smartphones. And in lane 4, $20,000 in hot cash compliments the NLA in collaboration with Clark's Court and Carib, a total of $126,000 in prizes at the starting blocks, and so many ways to win big. Car, cruise, phones, cash, and cultural entertainment from Grenada's top artists, and much more. Brought to you by the National Lotteries Authority. Tickets are only $50, so everybody tell somebody and race on out to the National Cricket Stadium on Saturday, 29th October. Must be 18 or older to participate. Remember, when you play bingo with the NLA, you are supporting sports, culture, and nation-building initiatives.
Do you suffer from back or neck pain? Were you hurt in a car accident or suffer from a sports injury? Pills and surgery may not be the solution. If you suffer from aches and pains, visit the Philippia McSween's Memorial Healthcare Center to find out how chiropractic care can have you feeling better. Get back on the road to recovery. Call or email today, treating problems effectively and safely.
Are you ready to be blown away? The Creative House Do It Best is now in 3 locations: Woodlands, Spiceland Mall, and the brand new Rose Street Mall Store. We are your premium hardware and home center, the #1 place to shop with the widest selections of tiles and exclusive brands of toilets, tools, paints, and home accessories on the island. All your household and hardware needs can be met at one premium house. The Creative House Do It Best. We give you value for your dollar.
Best service, best product. Do it best.
Unlimited talk, $75. Talk unlimited to over 50 destinations. Unlimited talk to all local landlines. Landline to mobile 45 cents. Sign up now.
Flow, watch, talk, click.
Hello viewers, this is your favorite HIV and AIDS awareness show, The Blocko. And today we're in Beaton, St.Davids. And right next to me I have a big man in the community, Grant. Hi Grant, how you doing?
I'm good, I'm good.
Say hello to the viewers out there.
Hi, viewers.
Okay, so today we're in Beaton, and as usual, you know, we like to find out more about the communities that we visit. And as I was coming here today, I realized just a little way off is a community center. What sort of activities do you guys have there?
We do basically a kids awareness where we bring them in, we show them the basic table tennis, draw, dominoes, the checkers. It's just an interaction basically center. Every Friday, every weekend, we carry them out from the stressful thing from the school. We bring them out to just free themselves, you know, to do all the little fun games and stuff. Yeah, so basically we keep them together. We have some clubs, this is called Laura, Beaton, and Blocko. We see the communities interacting. So
it's easy to say that Beaton St.Davids is a kind of sport.
Exactly. Yeah, St.Davids cricket league. We have a team in that. We have the football thing. Any communities are organizing small goals and stuff. We participate in that. Cricket, which is the wind ball and the hard ball. We take part in all those stuff. So.
And I have to ask, do you have any women on those teams?
Definitely.
And as we came today, I realized that two big pots are alone. What's going on?
Yes, man. Once you come here any weekend, you could just basically drive by and pot on fire. That's our thing.
So all I hear that, so anytime you're feeling hungry, just come across Beaton St.Davids and trust there's a pot on the fire.
Exactly.
And when you come, say Grand safe. You can get food safe.
Exactly.
And thank you so much, Grant. Of course, this is your show, The Blocko, HIV/AIDS awareness, where we make a difference. And we go back to the block with Andy.
Somebody made a point that a lot of folks don't take issues of HIV and AIDS seriously, maybe only until after you contract the virus or something. So I want to get from you guys, what do you think we can do as individuals to get our friends, society in general, to take HIV and AIDS seriously?
Alcohol have a lot to deal with it too. A lot of young people, and they drink tonight, they don't really study for tomorrow.
So you're saying that under the influence, you do not reason, you do not think about tomorrow?
Yeah.
So what you were saying?
Now my point is basically information and education. Because remember, once you educate yourselves about the dangers and the know-how, right? That's basically a tool for survival.
Education.
Without you knowing, like, basically how you contract the disease, how you go about getting it or whatever. So once you educate yourself, then you could protect yourself.
But then again, a lot of us, I would say, we have the education of it. But then again, what about using that education and being consistent about it?
But see, that is the same topic that Marvin raised.
Yeah.
You educate yourself about it. But probably you and your friends going out bar, you drink up your head get wax.
So he had a good point with what he just
exactly.
said. Exactly.
Yeah. I'm telling you.
So it's a really wide-scale issue that if I knew how to control it and to fix it, I would have done that already.
But definitely, it's not alcohol only. Because when a man nature calling him,
yes,
and he gets somebody,
now you're speaking.
He go to them without no thinking.
That moment in time.
Tomorrow, if you're over as alcohol,
not with no thinking.
Hold on. It's directly
when the heat come on.
They have sex. And tomorrow, please God, you go by a doctor and all one, boss say HIV positive. And oh God, who is this one who doing that? They're crying. But they didn't know to protect themselves.
But sometimes when there's fire in a hole, you ain't thinking about nothing.
So alcohol is one definitely.
Yeah. No man.
You might be smoking weed, cocaine or whatsoever. Listen, all these things could trigger you off.
Nah, man, how about them young children too?
As well as you don't have to do nothing and you just want it. And directly you go for it and you get it.
I want us to establish here right now, okay, how HIV is contracted and a couple of the ways that it's not contracted.
We must understand that HIV and AIDS is really spread through unprotected sex.
It's also transmitted through blood, semen, and also the breast milk from the mother to child. So it's just not having unprotected sex alone. Because if you're going to come into contact with somebody's blood and you have an entry into your bloodstream where that blood could get in and the person is infected, then the chances are that you're going to get the virus there as well. So it's just not only basically through vaginal secretions, just when you're going to have sex.
But you could still get HIV/AIDS by kissing, ain't it? Because somebody more could be infected, somebody gum could be infected.
To provide some clarification, you are correct. Once there's blood, if there's cuts in the mouth, there's a possibility. However, we have to think about the quantity of blood. But once you have blood-to-blood contact, definitely you can have some kind of transfer. But again, I just wanted to comment on the issue of education that you raised and using the education that we have. Because a lot of the times we have the education and we're not practicing it. But as you said that, a thought passed across my mind, and it said, there was a campaign that said, nobody knows the truth, it's not written on my face. So it means that if you went to bed with me, what you just did was to go to bed with everybody that I've been in bed with, and I've done the same with you. So I mean, it's an important lesson in using the education that we have here and sharing it as well, and clarifying and clearing up some of the myths that exist. But yes, blood is the body fluid that has the highest content of HIV in it. However, you must have that blood-to-blood transfusion, and it is possible in deep kissing, as we call it, not just the casual kissing, but yes, in deep kissing. But I also want to add, there are other things that you could contract. Although the general discussion is on HIV and AIDS, there's tons of stuff you can get from just kissing somebody. There's tons of other sexually transmitted infections that you can get out of simple kissing.
What is your opinion of letting an unborn child, which you know definitely that the mother has HIV, and you would let that child enter the world?
In many health systems, actually, there's a program now where all pregnant mothers are invited to get tested. And again, this is the education that we talk about. Because if I'm pregnant now, I don't know my status. The only how I can tell my status is if I get tested. And then it's an additional responsibility on both parents, both father and mother, if they're going to have a baby, to get tested. And if the mother is tested positive for HIV, of course, with antiretroviral treatments and a proper birthing, most times a cesarean section, the baby would have to be birthed that way and not through the original vaginal birth.
Okay, so you're actually still saying that we're going to allow that child a chance to live?
The child is not going to be born with HIV if we pick it up in time. Now, however, if a child is born with HIV, everybody has a right to live. Are you saying that if you were born with HIV...
No, I'm just thinking, I mean, I would love to live, but I'm just thinking, when you allow that child into life, you don't only risk the child's life, but you risk...
Right, but a while ago, educator here said there's 4 main ways you can get it. If we are educated in those 4 ways and we use those 4 ways, each one of us here could be HIV positive and not pass it to anybody.
Remember that not every child born to an HIV positive mother would be born with HIV. Just a fact to remember. This is a Blocko. We're going to take a short break, but we, of course, will be back.
Unlimited talk, $75. Talk unlimited to over 50 destinations. Unlimited talk to all local landlines. Landline to mobile, 45 cents. Sign up now.
Flow, watch, talk, click. There ain't no place like Huggins. You could always count on Huggins. And what's of great importance, Grenadians own it all. Insurance or shipping, paint or grocery shopping. For whatever you're looking, Huggins answer your call. Huggins for your dollar. Huggins peace of mind. Huggins for your travels. Huggins all the time. Huggins is the leader. Huggins is the best. Huggins with experience. Huggins live the rest.
Thank you folks for staying with us right here on the Blocko. Before we left, I realized that we always use the term HIV and AIDS loosely, in fact a lot of times interchangeably, but I want us to be aware that there is a difference between HIV and AIDS.
Now, HIV, human immunodeficiency virus, as it says, only lives in humans. It's a virus that causes AIDS. So if you go to have unprotected sexual intercourse with somebody who has AIDS, you would not get AIDS. What you're going to get is the virus. You're going to get HIV. Now, when you progress on to AIDS, is when you're going to have a range of symptoms and diseases, right, from that you would have gotten from the virus. All right, so let's say the virus would weaken your system, and so you'll be susceptible to any kind of little illnesses that go around.
So how long does it take? Like if you get HIV?
It differs from person to person. We have them into 3 or so categories, where we say the people who are rapid progressors, between 2 to 3 years, they're going to show signs of having it. Then you're going to have those typical progressors, which would be anyway probably ranging from 5 to 10 years. And then the non-progressors, people can live with the virus for over 10 years and not show any signs of having the virus.
Even persons, as we would say in local terms, well sick. I'm talking about people who would have progressed to the stage of having AIDS. The drugs these days are good enough to bring them back to a point where they can walk, feel well, and look healthy. So the drugs and the treatment are really good.
So you don't actually, it doesn't get rid of the virus.
No.
But it makes you
down the
further
process.
Yes. But in terms,
you won't treat it as a cure, but from what I have grown to understand is that persons who take the treatment seriously, they can see a significant decline in their viral loads, meaning the number of viruses in their blood.
Some curious young person, right? They probably go to bed with a female. Knowing this situation these days, the female HIV positive. After they went to bed with the person, they probably get the realization that probably I'm kind of feeling right, you know. How far from then would they know that HIV? Because it wouldn't be AIDS yet.
Actually, there's a period that we call the window period, and it can take anywhere from 0 days to about 21 days, which is 3 weeks.
Okay.
During that time, we really say you sit and look out the window because you're waiting. Until that time, even if you do any blood test, like the next day, no, it's not going to make the antibodies that would give you a true result. So you have to wait at least 3 weeks before you get a test that would give you a correct result. And I wanted to expound on what Jenna said about the treatment. He said if you take it seriously, once you start treatment, you have to take it every day for the rest of your life. And you cannot stop today and say I don't feel good, or you cannot say because it's carnival I'm having 2 beers, I'm not taking it. You have to take it from that point until. So
in terms of the treatment, how long does someone survive? Is it until probably old age? Will they say old age data?
That depends on the type of progressor you are, and we cannot take that chance. That is the one experiment we cannot do. The only how you will tell is when you contract it, and we don't want you to get to that stage. And again, it depends on a number of things. It depends on your general health demeanor, the way you exercise, the way you treat yourself, even psychological things. Even if you're a pessimistic person and everything's negative, you have a tendency to go down faster than an optimistic person who would work hard, keep on the treatment, educate others so that probably they won't suffer the same demise.
I would like to know, because if you could tell everyone around here, what are your all plans of trying to get rid of that?
No, but add to that, what are the government plans in terms of HIV/AIDS?
Before we used to say a community raised a child, so it has to be on your moral standing, what it is as parents we are doing, what it is as teachers we are doing, as adults. Are we setting the example? This is a whole new show. But again, I cannot speak on behalf of the government. Somebody asked what the government is doing. But there is the Ministry of Health, which with the National Infectious Disease Control Unit, they provide voluntary testing and counseling. That is one way we can help stop spread the disease, so people can go in and get tested freely. Once you know your status, that's how you know if you need to start taking medication or or not. But we like to preach abstinence. It's the only sure way. If you have a partner or a spouse, you keep faithful.
No, I love
this
sex.
is something that you need to discuss with your partner.
I love sex.
As well as the issue of condoms come up all the time, and we say correct and consistent condom use, but we know that condoms are only 98.5%, therefore there's a slim chance that that condom don't work. So with everything that we do, there's a risk. However, the only sure way to remain HIV free is through abstinence.
Before we actually wrap up this discussion, I want us to talk a little bit on the whole idea of stigma and discrimination. I know it's a subject that a lot of people don't like to talk about. And when you get a lot of private views, a lot of people think it is wisest to just put persons who are HIV positive on some island or in some separate part of the island somewhere. So tell me, what do you think we should be, or what our practice should be towards persons who are HIV positive?
There's pamphlets or medical, how do they put it, the information.
The information is right there.
Yes, information is right there. But some people basically, maybe they cannot read and write.
So you think one of the main ways of dealing with this issue education, if I'm reading it right?
Basically.
Education.
Basic. When we say basic, that's what we mean.
Anybody else?
I would like to be having HIV.
I can't get rid of it.
Scorned or being left out of society. I like to be just like anyone of yours. No.
So you won't want to be scorned?
No, I want to be
So what do you think we can do to
well, I say work harder and trying to get rid of the disease.
This discrimination is basically prevalent. Imagine sometimes you have the information and that somebody just tell you that one and that's just click.
Stick to one partner.
You probably have to take a second breath.
Just stick to
really realize, boy. Okay. Instead of touching me, I wouldn't think so. He could stick around with us.
So you think behind your mind somewhere you always tempted to discriminate, but you have to be aware that.
Exactly, that always behind your mind somewhere.
And then again, we talk about the part of educating people about it. You go to the schools, you educate the young children about HIV. Then again, we could be telling them about it, and at the same point, we telling them about sex too. But we try to teach them, and then again, we put them at the point where they want to experience that. So then it becomes a problem all how you turn.
On the issue of stigma and discrimination, we have to realize that stigma is the label. None of you know my status. What if I am HIV positive? Would you have liked me to have a label on me? So that's one thing, right? Versus the true status. But another person talked about what should we do. It starts here. It starts with us. And if all of us use that education that we gathered in this show, then of course this is one starting point. It begins with me. And if I know these are the way it can be transmitted or not transmitted, then I need to be practicing that as an individual. In terms of statistics, what we have so far in Grenada is a ratio of about 2 to 1 male to female. And that could account for a lot of different implications. It could mean that the females are getting tested overseas or they're not tested at all. It could mean that the men are going out more and getting tested. So we don't have the answers why we have that pattern. But we do have the age range between 15 and 35. The real range is 15 and 45. Again, that's our working class, those are our reproductive ages, and that's where all the implication of this whole issue resides. It means that if we do not do things differently, if we do not be proactive and do things like this and prevent ourselves, prevent the spread, then it means years from now we won't have parents, we won't have a working class. And we'd have orphans maybe.
We'll not have a
so these are things to consider as we go along in this quest. And as we say, not to eradicate, that would be a dream word, but at least to reduce the effects of HIV and AIDS.
What do you think is the most major contribution towards HIV?
I'm not going to share my personal opinion, which may not have any merit, but I like to use science. And the science that we have, from the statistics that we have in Grenada, the main spread is heterosexual sex, men to women.
Thank you very much, Mrs. Roberts. Thanks to our educators, thanks to our guys. Remember, this is a Blocko, and it's your responsibility to educate yourself and to protect yourself. I'm your host, Andy. We out.